Can we get off of the Dart taking these hits conversation? I don't understand when it became okay for us who cover the sport to be like, hey, will you be less competitive? He's on the road. The team stinks. He's trying to get back into the starting lineup. He's going against another young quarterback. It's Monday Night Football, and we want him to just not be competitive? Like, yes, he's going to have to take less hits, but we're talking about this young man in regard. I would much rather have a young quarterback that is unbelievably talented and ridiculously competitive and worry about, okay, I got to take some hits off him. Yes, he knows that. He'll grow into that. I'd much rather have that than, hey, can you try a little harder?
See, this is what's wrong with ESPN. I remember growing up and just being in love with ESPN. Maybe back in the day, there were things about ESPN that were bad too, but I didn't know because I was young. But I feel like this is the dumbest thing somebody could say, and sometimes Dan Orlovsky is the one guy on that set that actually makes any sense. Nothing about Jaxson Dart taking hits is competitive. It's competitive if you're giving a hit. Nothing is competitive about taking a hit. Taking constant hits shows that you do not actually understand how valuable you are to your team. I watched that game from between the Patriots and the Giants on multiple. I mean, Jaxson Dart must have got hit like 2 or 3 times. It's a pretty serious hit. And then the one in particular on the sideline. And what's crazy is he got hit on the sideline and his teammates start jumping in to protect him. So now we got a scenario where your teammates are jumping in to protect you. You go into press conference and you start saying stuff like, I'm not going to change my game. I've been playing like that since I was in high school. Nothing's going to change. I'm trying to win and so on and so forth. And I'm competing and, this is football. There are levels to this. And the guys who figure out how to make their career last are the guys who we see get to make the most of their careers. Tom Brady won a championship when he was like 40-something. Why? Because he figured out how to stay on the field, how to be healthy. People used to say stuff like, oh, man, I mean, he's talking to the refs. He's getting the refs to do this, that, and the third. It's because he was fighting for his career. He was fighting for his life. He was trying to figure out how to keep himself healthy, how to keep guys from hitting his knees and so on and so forth. Nothing is competitive, though, about getting out of bounds. That shows that you are smart. It shows that you are wise. And it shows that you understand that I can't actually really afford to just be taking any old hit just because I think that's a tough guy thing to do. Clearly, it's the reason why he's doing it. I talked about Jaxson Dart before in one of my previous videos. I like Jaxson Dart. I see Jaxson Dart as our generation's John Elway, tough guy, Evel Knievel energy. But if he doesn't change the way he plays, if he does not evolve, his career won't last. And I'm telling you right now, what's going to end up happening is he's going to end up getting hurt. The Giants are going to need to figure out something to make sure they got a backup plan. And the backup plan is going to be somebody who's healthy, who stays in the lineup and gives their team an opportunity to have continuity from week to week. Ain't nothing cool about you taking crazy ass hits and not even being able to be available for your team next week. The man just missed 2-3 games, and it hits me hard because he on my fantasy. He just missed 2 or 3 games in a row because he got knocked out of one. How are you really helping your team if you can't play every single game of the season? Part of why the Giants loved Eli Manning is because he had that Iron Man streak and played as many games consistently as he did. He gave the Giants their best opportunity. The Giants never had to rely on the backup. You saw what the coach did when they had to put Russell Wilson in the game? He lost his fucking mind. And that has a lot to do with why he got fired, because he turned the Giants into a fucking theatrical football team with shoulder pads on. He turned them into that because he didn't know how to act without Jaxson in the game. Jackson's got to be in the game. Jaxson don't give a fuck about being in the game because Jaxson thinks he's got to be a tough guy for his team. And it's not fucking working, Jaxson. It's not fucking working, bro. You're not winning games. Excuse my language. I am genuinely working on evolving and working on not using such crass language, but I get frustrated, I guess, because I see dumb shit happen, and it's just how I tend to address dumb shit. I'm gonna work on that though, and I'm going to evolve. And listen, me next year, I probably won't be talking like this. I'm gonna find better language and find a way for that language to make the same impact as the curse words do. Now, back to what I'm saying. For Orlovsky, Dan Orlovsky, whatever, for him to say this and for him to be sitting there all frustrated. Can we get off this topic of Jaxson Dart? I don't want to ask my quarterback to try harder. Having a coach is not about asking him to try harder. Having a coach, an offensive coordinator, a head coach, it's about teaching a young man how to prolong his NFL career for the sake of his career, for the sake of his legacy, for the sake of his family's finances. You know what's so crazy is these guys get into the league and, you know, it's such an amazing opportunity and such a reward, bro. You get to the league and it's like, wow, dog, I fucking made it. I'm here. I'm in the NFL. I did it. And there's a reason why people have spoken of the acronym, the NFL, standing for not for long. And it's because the average, I don't have the stat in front of me, the specific stat, but from my memory, the average NFL career lasts about 4 years. And if you think about it, that is literally the length of a rookie contract. So that means somebody comes into the league, does 4 years, doesn't get that 5th year option, and ends up being out of the league because they can't hang, they can't make it last any longer than they've managed to, whether that be because of injury or performance. Ultimately, that team that drafted them says, we're good, we're going to pass, we're not giving you no big-ass contract. If we could re-sign you to that same rookie deal you had, or a little bit less since you didn't really perform, we'll do that. Or all the other teams in the league, the 31 other teams in the league, say, nah, we good. We good. We got rookies we drafting this year. We're going to have them on rookie contracts. We'll pass. And then you end up being somebody who made it, and now you're gone. Flash in the pan. Jaxson Dart has talent. He's got skill. He is very competitive, but he's not smart. I hate to say it. Jaxson Dart is giving Beach Boy energy. He's giving 90210 energy right now. I think he's a very likable young man. That goes without saying. You see him in the press conferences and the way he talks, how he talks about his family and his past, his college career and whatnot. You can't not like him. You see him play, you can't not like this guy when you watch him play. He's exciting to watch. He is. It's been one of my favorite watches all year. And you know what's crazy is I've been a huge fan of Cam Ward since college, and I cannot watch the Titans. I do it every Sunday. I try to every single Sunday. And every single Sunday, by about the third quarter, I'm tapped out. There's nothing to watch. The Titans are terrible. There's no offense. There's no nothing. But then when you watch Jaxson Dart, you're like, man, he's not perfect. There's plenty of the throws that he's making that are going to start getting picked off. Next year, mark my words, Jaxson Dart will not have as good of a year as he did this year. Next year, we're going to start seeing Jaxson Dart get picked off time and time again. I'm telling you right now. They're dropping interceptions right now. They're dropping, and he's not perfect. You can see it in a lot of the passes he's making. The defense has just as much of an opportunity. Jaxson Dart is almost looking like Jameis Winston, so to speak. But to hear Dan say this is frustrating because these are the guys you get your sports from. These are the guys you get your sports news from. And they're talking as if the longevity of his career isn't important. You're liable to not win a ring within these first 4 years. So what do you do if you don't win a ring? If you don't win a Super Bowl within these first 4 years, the Giants have invested all this time in you. They just fired the head coach that they felt was going to get you hurt, and they're investing in you. Now you don't have the guy who drafted you there. You're the face of the organization, or soon to be the face of the organization. When people talk about the Giants, so they talk about Jaxson Dart. So you're the face. And let's just say you don't win a ring in the first 4 years, which the Giants don't look like they're about to win a ring. They're literally competing for the top spot in the NFL draft again. Then what? Sure, somebody's going to see some of the good stuff that you did for the Giants in year one. Hopefully you repeat some or more, most of it, and get better. in year 2, year 3, year 4, 5th year contract. We'll see. And then what? If you don't win a ring those first 4 or 5 years, what tends to happen is you end up going to a team where you end up becoming the backup, or you end up being some guy who had promise, but hopefully your agent can get you on a good team. And if he doesn't, then you're out of the league, essentially, or you're out of that prime spot. And now you're just a backup, which is cool. That's cool. It's cool. I'm a backup. Backup in the NFL. That's still a very amazing opportunity to have, but you're no longer going to be that guy. All them little cute end zone dances you want to do, ain't none of that. Ain't nobody checking for all that, because now there's a new somebody from college who knows how to protect himself, knows how to protect the team. It's not just about protecting yourself. It's about protecting the team. That's the point of what I'm saying here. That's the point of this rant. It's not about Jaxson Dart. It's not about Jaxson Dart. It's not about Jaxson Dart. It's about the team. My bad. It's about the team. It's about Jaxson Dart. It's about his family. It's about his longevity. It's about his legacy. It's about his career. It's about his finances. I just saw a story about Sebastian Telfair, NBA basketball player who made over $20 million in his NBA career, and he's now back in the projects. He's living in the projects again. He just was giving like some MTV Cribs like tour of his apartment in the projects, and it looked awful. Has kids in there, and he's talking about how the scenario and this, that, and the third. And I'm telling you right now, a majority of these athletes, they don't make it past the 4 to 5 year mark. And it's because of health. It's because of performance. It's because of so many different reasons. And ultimately, seeing something like this from Dan Orlovsky is just irresponsible. You put a guy in a suit and you have him say something, and you just find out exactly how ignorant they are as well. Just because you're wearing a suit, just because you're on as prestigious a network as ESPN, it don't mean a damn thing, especially when you're talking this crazy. It absolutely matters. Your wisdom, your mindset, the way you think, that absolutely matters. Quarterbacks don't try to take hits. They don't do that. Jaxson Dart is not built like Josh Allen. You can't just be taking hits. Even Cam Newton took too many damn hits. And Cam Newton about, 6'5", goddamn power forward size, low key. 6'5", 230 something. You can't just be taking all them hits, bruh. I forget the guy's name. Was it Ellis? On the Patriots, number 53, I think he was. Man, he about decapitated Jaxson Dart the other night. And sure, Jaxson popped back up. But come on, man. He done been in the blue tent about what? If I'm not I don't want to just throw out a number. He's been in the blue tent way too many times this season. Way too many times. He hasn't even played the entire season. He didn't start at the beginning of the year. Then he comes in. I wouldn't be surprised if Jaxson Dart has been in the blue tent more than every other player in the NFL. That shit means something. Think about the fact that he has had concussions, multiple, this season. And Dan Orlovsky is talking about being competitive. And Jaxson Dart's talking about, man, it's football. No, the fuck it's not, bro. Football is not about getting concussed. Getting concussed is sometimes a part of the game, but it doesn't have to always be a part of the game. We just saw movies and documentaries about CTE, and Jaxson Dart is out here trying to be some kind of quarterback tough guy. He's not going to last. And it's a shame because he's talented, and I would love to see how prestigious a career he can have, but he's going to end up being a bust by proxy of his inability to be available. They say the best ability is availability. And this, I was about to curse, this dude can't even stay in the lineup because he don't know how to slide or get out of bounds. That play that he took that hit from that guy from the Patriots, Ellis or whatnot, number 53. I'm throwing the name and the number out there, but if you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to put the clip on here because YouTube keeps flagging me. That hit he took, he could have easily stepped out of bounds. He chose not to. He chose to take that hit, and it's just ignorant to see guys in suits talk like this. If you got to this part of the video, I appreciate you. Would appreciate you 10 times more if you decided to like, comment, and subscribe. Need you to subscribe because YouTube has been suffocating me via the algorithm. And we got to do something about that. YouTube has been concussing me via the algorithm, and we got to do something about that, dawg. We got to do something, dawg. Peace.